Okay, good morning, everybody. Looking forward to another very inspiring Gemara video with you. It should be good. So basically, again, we're flipping it around a little bit. We're going to first do the translations like this, with me going over the reading of the Gemara with you. After you understand the translations, then you'll be able to sit with a chavruta, go over it a few times to make sure you didn't miss anything, and then ultimately you're going to teach it to me. You're going to read this Gemara back to me to make sure that I feel that you understand what's going on and you understand the sugya. So first, let's start like this with a little introduction. We know there's a rule called Tashlumin. Tashlumin means the ability to repeat, or the ability to almost have a do-over, or to double up. The example is, if I missed Mariv on a given night, I didn't daven Mariv, I'm allowed to daven Shacharit 2 times. If I didn't daven Shacharit, then I'm allowed to daven Mincha 2 times. We saw that in our last sugya, right? I daven twice at the next available opportunity, and I make up for the tefillah that I missed. Again, if I missed Mariv, I can do Shacharit twice, one for Shacharit, one for Mariv. If I missed Shacharit, I can do Mincha twice. The question, though, becomes, what happens if I miss Mincha twice? So some of you will say, hey, Rabbi, that's obvious. Of course I can daven Mariv twice. Well, here's the problem. The problem is that in Judaism, our days begin at night, right? The night is actually the beginning of the day. So if that's the case, if you missed Mincha, you missed the last tefillah of that day. Mariv, in a way, is now starting a new day. So the question becomes, if I missed Mincha, am I allowed still to say Mincha over again, even though the day is over? Once Mariv hits, that day's over. It's kind of like the line, the gate is closed. It's game over. You missed the train. Or do we say, no, just like when I miss Mariv, I can daven Shacharit twice. Just like when I miss Shacharit, I can daven Mincha twice. So too, when I miss Mincha, I can daven Mariv twice. How many of you want to argue that? Or do you want to say, no, Mincha is totally different. When you miss Mincha, you lost your chance. The day is over. You're not allowed to repeat. So I just basically went over exactly what the Gemara debates right here. And now let's see it inside the words. Ibailahu. Ibailahu means they asked him. They asked. They asked him. Ta'a. Ta'a is going to be a very important word in our sugya. Whoa, I'm very far over there. Ta'a means ta'a. If you made a mistake. If a person made a mistake. Ta'a. If a person made a mistake. We're now on line number 3. Velo hitpalel mincha. And you didn't daven mincha. Mahu. What is the halacha? Mahu. What is the halacha? Again. Ibailahu. They asked him. Ta'a. If a person made a mistake. He made a mistake. Velo hitpalel mincha. The reason why the Gemara says he made a mistake, by the way, is because if you purposely didn't daven, if you said, I am not davening mincha, it's all good, I can make it up later, not going to work. So we're talking about you made a mistake. You made a mistake, you forgot, you slept in, whatever, you made a mistake. V'lo yitpalel mincha. You didn't daven mincha. Mahu. What is the halacha? Sheitpalel arvit bet. Are you allowed to daven Mariv 2 times? Sheetz Palel. Can you daven Mariv bet? Bet, it means 2 times. Am I allowed to daven Mariv 2 times if I missed Mincha? And the Gemara now breaks it down like this. Im timtze lomar. If you want to say. In other words, I write in brackets. Im timtze lomar means if you want to say. In brackets, I would write down option number 1. Okay? First write, if you want to say, this is option number 1 the Gemara is about to give. Meets palel. If you want to say this follows, maybe it's the same as the other cases. Ta'a v'lo yitpalel arvit. If you made a mistake and didn't daven Mariv, Mitpalel shacharit bet. You can daven shacharit 2 times. That we explained, right? So if you want to say that missing mincha is the same as this case, the case of ta'a v'lo yitpalel arvit, if you made a mistake and didn't daven marev, we say mitpalel shacharit bet. You can daven shacharit 2 times. Maybe it's the same as that. Mishum, no. That is because, I even gave you that one. That is because dechad yomahu. That's all one day. If you miss Maariv, right, you can daven Shachari 2 times because it's all the same day. Again, the day starts at night. As it goes on to say, Dichtiv, as it says, Vayihi Erev, Vayihi Voker, Yom Echad. We're on the next page. The Torah says, this is from Bereshit just a few weeks ago, it was evening and it was morning, Yom Echad, the first day. The day starts with the Erev. First it's Erev, then it's Boker. It's evening, then it's morning. The day starts at night. Aval Hacha, but in our case, Hacha means here, but here in our case, Tfila bimakom korbani. In our case where you missed Mincha, remember, davening is really in place of korbanot. What we daven because our davening is based off of the sacrifices that were brought. There was a tamid shel shachar. There was a morning sacrifice. There was a tamid shel ben harbayim. There was an afternoon sacrifice, and then that was the end of the day. V'kevan de'avar yomo. V'kevan, and once de'avar yomo, that the day passed, once your day's over, batel korbano, your korban was game over. Meaning, if you didn't bring a korban that you were supposed to bring by the end of that day, batel korbano, your korban's finished. So too, your davening should be finished. This is option number 1. Let's summarize it outside, then we'll say it again inside. Option 1, the Gemara says, is mincha is, if you missed mincha, that's not the same as missing marev or shacharit. If you missed marev or shacharit, you can repeat it because you're still in the same day. But if you miss mincha, guys, if you miss mincha, the day's over because now you're going into marev, that's starting a new day. And maybe we would say, just like by korbanot, once the day was over, you couldn't bring korban for that day anymore. So too, you miss the day for tfilat mincha, for davening mincha, you cannot make up that tefillah at Maariv. The day is over. The train has left the station. Going back to our video we saw a little while ago. Let's read this one inside one more time and go over it one more time. Okay? Im tinse lomar. If you want to say, this is option 1. If you want to say, and you can also write in brackets, this is the same as the following cases. Ta'a v'lo yitpalel arvit, if you made a mistake and you didn't daven marev, mitpalel shachari bet. We know that the rule is mitpalel, you can daven shachari 2 times. Mishum, but that is because the reason why I can repeat shachari twice, dechad yomahu. That's only because dechad yomahu. It's one day. Dichtiv, as the Torah says, vayihi erev, vayihi voker yom echad. It was evening and it was morning one day. The day starts in the evening. Aval hacha, but in our case, here, if you miss mincha twice, tefillah b'makom korbanhi. Tefillah really is in place of the korbanot. V'kevan de, and once de avar yomo, that the day is over, batel korbano, your korban is over. So too your davening's over. That's option number 1. You cannot repeat mincha. Mincha's different. The day's over, you missed your chance. That's option number 1, if you miss mincha. O dilma, now the Gemara gives option number 2. Or perhaps. O dilma means or perhaps. In other words, Option number 2, Kevan ditsluta rachamehi. Kevan ditsluta rachamehi. Since, Kevan means since or once, since tsluta, since davening is rachamehi, it's asking for compassion. It is prayer. It is turning to God for something. Since davening is all about turning to God, it's turning to Hashem. Davening is turning to Hashem. Therefore, kol emat, anytime, kol emat, anytime, debae, that you need to, that you want to daven, anytime that you need it, mitzale ve'azil, you should be allowed to daven. Meaning the Gemara gives option number 2. 1 second. The train never leaves the station. It's never too late. Since davening is all about asking God, turning to God for compassion, turning to God because you need something, you can do that anytime. You can do it anytime. So you should be allowed to repeat mincha twice. These are our 2 options we're faced with. Option number 1 is that, if again, the case is you missed mincha, can I repeat Mariv twice? Meaning, can I daven mincha later on again at Mariv time? Option number 1 is no, you can't. At the end of mincha, by the time, once Mariv hits, it's a new day. You missed your chance. It's a new day. You cannot repeat mincha. It's over. You missed the train. We'll call that the missing the train answer. Option number 2 is the power of tefillah answer. Option number 2 is, of course you can daven mincha twice. Davening is all about turning to God. Whenever you want to turn to God, you can. Kevan ditsluta rachamehi. Since davening is all about asking for things, asking for compassion, asking for needs. Kol emat, anytime, debae, that you need it, mitzali ve'azil, you can daven. Okay, those are our 2 options. That's the question that really the Gemara sets up. That's what I wanted to focus on today. Tomorrow, which will actually be at the beginning of next week, we'll go into the answer. But those are our 2 options. And why mincha, missing mincha, is so tricky. Okay, we'll continue with this next week.